Hi, this is Sam from JRA, and I'm here today to answer some of your questions. After 15 years in the junk removal business, I learned quite a bit. Some of them from the mistakes I made, some of them from some of the things that really worked out well for me. So I'm here to answer your questions. That's a good question. What happens when you're you're taking the items that you've already agreed upon and you're bringing them out to the truck, and then the customer wants to add more to it? I've no problems with the customer wanting to add more as long as they know what it's gonna cost them. When I first get on site and I give an estimate, it's an estimate. It's not a quote. So I'll give you a low, medium, and high estimate to the customer, and I'll say along the way I can tell you exactly where we are as far as the volume in the truck. Remember, we only charge by how much volume you take up in the truck. So if a customer starts to add on things, I might tell them that it's going to be certainly a lot cheaper for us to take it now, but you may jump up in another volume. Our price list was made up of 13 different increments, and it can be up to yours might be 10 or 12, but the reason we do that is because the increments in between each level of pricing is small enough to where if the customer adds on more things, then I can go up another level, and I usually understand that. Any revenue that my business made that was either junk related to the job, junk removal related to the job, or any of the resale, I ran it through my P&L. I had gone with the idea that if I was going to do it, I was going to do it right in order to scale this company $1 million, $2 million, $3 million and higher. There's nothing you want to do that was going to call you out by the internal revenue, give you a bad reputation. So I always felt that I wanted to do everything on the up and up, and I wanted to make sure that all the revenue was reported and all the revenue was ran through the P&L. That's how I wanted to run my business. Well, one of the things about finding out if what you pick up is tax deductible, I always ask the experts. And in my situation, I had a good bookkeeper, my wife, but I also paid for a really good accountant. And I asked several accountants, even ones that I employed and the other ones where I met. I'd ask them the same question: is there any way I can take a tax deductible break on the things that we pick up? And I got the same answer. If you didn't buy it, if you didn't hand the cash over, buy the particular item that we were taking, then you were never really the owner. All you were the transporter. So we transported someone else's items to wherever the destination. In this case, it would be the landfill or the transfer station or something like that. So we weren't allowed to take a tax deduction. We were, however, able to pass on the tax deduction to the customer. In my situation, I was able to give them copies of the donation receipts. Yeah, one of the things people ask me about is, how much money do you need to get involved with junk removal? And it's a good question. I mean, do you have the expendable income to be able to go into the junk removal business? Or maybe you don't have quite enough, and maybe you're going to bridge it with some loans. Everybody's risk factor is different. But I'll tell you, to be an entrepreneur, you have to take risk. That's why not everybody's cut out to be in to own their own business. I encourage everyone to do that because there is no ceiling to owning your own business. The cautionary part is there's no floor either. So you have to be careful because you are going to be playing for a lot of marbles, because if you've got all this money tied up in your business, you've got to make sure that you're profitable and quickly. Entrepreneurs is not for someone faint at heart. I mean, you have to really be encouraged by driving success. Thank you, everybody, for asking some really great questions. My experience spans 15 years. There's several areas that we can get into. So for those questions you haven't asked, and those questions that you're thinking about, or maybe after this video, remember, down below, just write your question there. I'll be able to get that. And another 2 weeks, I'll do another video answering some great questions again.